Hello. It's probably been like another day or so since the actual end of the tournament, so this video is a little bit late. Yeah, so yesterday actually was the last day of the tournament. I was quite busy yesterday after the games. We had like closing ceremonies, we had like a banquet, and then a lot of people actually just went to play more Go because several days ago wasn't enough Go, and yeah, it's kind of fun just to have a beer and play more Go. Yeah, so my last two games were against 4Qs, and I actually won those games. So one was against Mongolia, and the other one was against Cyprus. So I'll show you those games in a few minutes, and yeah, they're fun, and it's nice. I ended up on 3 wins out of 8, and I think overall like 46th place out of 60. And I think 46 was also my starting rank, so like my starting kind of seed. So basically ended up where I started, which is kind of funny. It's not too bad though, at least I didn't drop down. So yeah, it was fun, and we all got these like nice certs as well at the closing ceremony. So I got a Japanese 1-dan cert now for competing in the tournament, so that's kind of cool. Alright, I'll show you the games now in a second. Okay, so this is the first game against Mongolia. So this is a 4Q. And one thing after playing so many kind of complicated games, I just wanted to try to keep things simple. So even here we have a kind of simple 4-4 Joseki, and just enclosing corners approach. Okay, this is a slightly almost more modern Joseki. And here I wasn't exactly sure what to do, but I just decided to connect because it seemed very solid. And taking the corner felt kind of big because it undercuts the white group and settles the black group. And then here I just wanted to try and break up the side a little bit. So even here. And in this, Hane, in theory, is supposed to be a slight overplay, but it depends on the whole board situation, really. Like, I think maybe I had the move order wrong. Like maybe if I'm going to cut or clamp or something, maybe I'm supposed to do it now. But I kind of asked this first, whereas maybe when you ask first, maybe white can do something like this. I'm not exactly sure. Or, just connect, I guess, and then let you connect under and connect on top. Something like that, maybe. Anyway, so yeah, I kind of spent a while thinking about this and thinking about different variations. Assuming, white would do something like this, or say Atari here. And then I was thinking about like extending like this, and maybe one more time, and then if they take the stone, 2 stones, then I do this kind of push and cut, or not like that, like this, and take the stone on the ladder. And yeah, it just depends on what happens. I was also thinking about like because you can kind of I think you can come back and live with B16 at some point. Or maybe another kind of idea will be if they defend here, then you do this. You're threatening this big net, so anyway. But actually in the game variation, so we did this and I cut, and then they just went for the 2 stones, and then I played one kind of forcing move and then took the stone and then keep white separated, and I didn't think that was forcing, so I just came back to attack and Hane and push a couple times, and maybe this wedge wasn't necessary, but I did it. And this Hane, and I guess I was kind of maybe not exactly sure what to do in this variation, but maybe Atari and go down. Probably, yeah, maybe something like this or something. But okay, they went here, which is interesting. So I kind of just let this get settled, and this is a very slow move, but I kind of thought maybe I was like okay in terms of like points, and I just decided to kind of start putting the game into an end game pretty much already. Like, okay, this move I actually forgot they could descend, so that was just like a bad exchange. And then here I was just thinking, okay, no weak groups. and I can just do this sort of stuff. So okay, technically it's still kind of a middle game because I could attack white, but I was kind of thinking maybe I can just start playing endgame. And actually here, I guess this is supposed to be the move. If they do this, then I guess you can separate. Right. So I don't know why I didn't do that. But yeah, okay. Something like this happens. And I just start trying to take all the biggest endgame moves. And then start thinking about, like, because at some point I realized that I was actually spending a lot of time just trying to come up with a plan for the rest of the game. And actually maybe here for quite a while I think white had some idea to play an attachment like this, because depending on how I answer, there might be some kind of agi. So like, let's say I did something like I pull back to block the corner, then there's this kind of thing where I can actually lose a capturing race. So I have to be slightly careful. And I think when they did this, it kind of fixed some of those problems. And there's a peep. And then I guess it's just trying to find some of the biggest moves. And probably the move order is wrong in a number of ways. But anyway, it was like a really long endgame. Like, so yeah, like, I mean, probably this should have been blocked a lot earlier. And they got a lot of sente moves. And there's a lot of slow moves. And again, I don't remember the exact move order, but essentially this is how the board ends up. So I'll just scroll all the way to the end. It's just an incredibly long endgame that I kind of need to start studying endgame a bit more. And yeah, white, black. So I'm black, and black wins by 18.5. So then similarly in the second game, I'm black again because I'm constantly winning nigiri. This is against Cyprus, again another 4Q. I believe. And yeah, again, I was kind of thinking maybe it'd be nice to have a kind of simple opening, although I do play away from this stone. But it's just because I wanted to pressure the white stones. And then, yeah, just pressure them slightly, try sketch out some territory. And then some move like this happened, which I thought was a bit unusual because it looked like I could just kind of settle my group very easily, and white didn't really get a whole lot in return. And again, I just kind of wanted the pressure. And maybe I should have bambooed because this leaves some cutting points, but anyway, this is roughly how the game went. White was trying all kinds of cutting ideas. Again, I suppose I could have just cut here, but I just decided to stay solid. And then I think for like forever in the game, this move is like kind of a double sente move almost. Well, it's not sente really for... Well, I guess it's kind of sente for black, but it's definitely a good move for white to get. So, like, when white goes down, black probably is going to have to, like, pull back or something to try prevent some connection underneath. So I probably should have played this much earlier than in the game. And I tried just, like, you know, jump across the board, make sure white doesn't get a big moyo. Maybe this is a bit questionable. Maybe I should have tried to just reduce a different way, because at some point I'm kind of split a bit and I have to figure out how to connect. And I tried this one with the idea of pulling back, and you know, I can always just give up that stone. And then the other thing I was thinking about is that, you know, if I'm going to lose the game, I have to probably lose a bunch of these stones on the left side. So I was like constantly thinking about what happens here essentially with this these kinds of wedges. So if they go down here, this kind of stuff. So yeah, there's all this kind of stuff to start thinking about. But yeah, so they kind of strengthened the connection a bit. I just keep trying to pressure the white group, and then eventually just use that bit of pressure to try and surround some points on the top. And then I kind of just live small just to be safe. And then this one I was really kind of worried about a cut, so I just tried to fix the cut. And again, this move, I don't know if it's a bit slow, but the idea is just there's possibly this sort of thing that I don't want to think about in the future. So yeah, so I just try to fix that cut. And again, at some point the endgame might end up out of order, but let's just skip through it. So I get some points here. Eventually I do get that move on the right hand side. And again, I just really don't want any stones over here to get cut, because that's just an easy way to lose a lot of points. And I'm just trying to play relatively safe endgame, I think. So just answer most things. Play some kind of Sente looking moves, and it's nice when they answer some other moves. Probably I have to keep reading this out a little bit just to make sure that I don't run into some liberty problems. Yeah, again, just lots of slow kind of looking endgame, and then there's a kind of slightly dramatic finish. Actually, I thought this was kind of a fun looking idea, but yeah, I think it ends up not being that kind of amazing as a reduction. So something like this happens. Oh yeah, and then this is basically how the game kind of ends dramatically. So I kind of bamboo here because I'm eyeing up this wedge, and then they didn't notice it, so I played it, and then they just resign. So anyway, that's just that game. So that was kind of fun. Just trying to take both games to end game and keep it simple, and I think I have a bit of a lead. So yeah, anyway, that's the kind of end of the tournament. Very happy with it overall. Really well organised. Really great to see the Neon Kin, and now just time to explore Tokyo a little bit. So I hope you enjoyed watching these videos and the games. See ya.